So first off, earlier today, new Judas news came out. For a quick catch-up, Judas is the latest Ken Levine game. Ken Levine is the guy who made Bioshock and Bioshock Infinite and System Shock. I recently released a video talking about how there was no news and we probably weren't going to get new news for a while, and of course, here's this now. So let's go over it. So devlog number 1. We know, we've been silent for a while, about 2 years. It takes a lot of time and energy to make marketing materials like trailers, and we're trying to focus all our efforts on finishing Judas. Fair enough. But we also miss the days of having a more direct relationship with you, the gamers, so we thought, why not start releasing some devlogs? I don't think they've ever had a direct line with us. I can't think of one. Through these, we hope to communicate more frequently to update you with new details on what we're working on. Without spoiling too much of what Judas has in store, the goal is to keep this pretty lo-fi, meaning more frequent updates than before, but not necessarily always with fancy trailers and super polished final imagery, though there will be more of those as well. So this might end up being a double-edged sword, because in Bioshock Infinite, they showed a bunch of early footage on, and then the game ended up changing a ton, and that's a big critique towards it. So feature update, Villainy. We've just finished a major milestone. Villainy. Villainy is a central feature of Judas. When you play Bioshock or Bioshock Infinite, the villain is always going to be the villain. Fontaine, Comstock, they're always going to be the bad guys. In Judas, your actions will attract members of the Big Three to you as friends. But ignore one of them enough, and they become the villain. From there, they will get access to a new suite of powers to subvert your actions and goals. The clips below demonstrate just a little bit of the feature. So, hold on. We get to do a good old zoom in. So we get to see our horse guy. I guess we've taken him over. Or is... Oh, so you can normally rent one of these guys. Okay, and then they'll help you out. But if the character Tom is pissed, I guess they will, when you rent them out, they will come to fight you instead. As again, a quick catch-up. The game is going to revolve around you as the player character, and then these 3 NPCs, and each one of them has their own goals and different things you can do to like increase your affinity with them. But that will cause the affinity to go down with others, and that can cause them to like lock you out of areas, make enemies tougher, not give resources, stuff like that. This is just one example of how the Big Three can retaliate. The more dangerous and character-specific stuff will be kept a secret for now. Eventually, you'll have to make decisions about who you're going to focus your energy on and who you'll wind up alienating. Yeah, W for Ken Levine. I did see this key art. Focus on character. One of my personal favorites of all time is Middle-earth's Shadow of Mordor, because of the emergent gameplay made possible by their Nemesis system, which they not only copyrighted, but also then, I think the studio went under, or something like that, so like the Nemesis system is just copyrighted and not being used for years on. The system allows you to develop small relationships with multiple orcs. However, their goals are a little different than ours, because there are so many different orcs, and they don't have time to develop them into characters. In Judas, you're going to get to know these characters intimately. We want losing one of them to feel like losing a friend. We want to play with that dynamic, and we want that choice to be super hard. The Big Three are all going to be competing for your favor and attention. They can bribe you, save you in battle, talk shit about the other characters, and share with you their darkest secrets. But eventually, you've got to decide who you trust and who you don't. In Bioshock Infinite, there's a lot of energy invested into developing your relationship with Elizabeth. Well, I mean, from their end, I guess there was a lot, but for us, all we were able to do, there's one choice with Elizabeth when you choose the pendant on her necklace. Otherwise, it's all pre-scripted stuff. By the end of the game, you knew everything about her abilities, her hopes, and dreams. That's true. But the truth is that she knew nothing about you, the gamer playing Booker. In Judas, the Big Three observe you as you play, and they have feelings not only about how you approach combat, hacking, and crafting, but most importantly, your interactions with the other 2 characters. As part of the Villainy milestone, hello, we also completed the biggest Judas playtest yet. Where new players experience this feature firsthand. I can't read with you there, so you can sit here. Every time we test, we learn so much, and we love having that level of knowledge when working on the game. The testers shared tons of valuable feedback on the weight of decisions and how it impacted outcomes. Their interest in learning more about character motivations and how moments where the Big Three helped or turned on them changed their future decisions. Key art. Another exciting thing we have to share is this key art. Hi. Are you also excited for Judas? Hold on. There you go. That's more towards your face, so you can speak into it if you want. So yeah, like I mentioned before, I guess without really playing it or anything, it just sounds like an affinity system, right? You know, certain actions will cause one of the big three to like you more, and then the others will cause them to not. If, like, they want you to go do something, and then one person, like, offers this as a reward for getting the objective done, and giving, like, them the resources, the other person might want you to give it to them, and they'll give you their own resources. Kind of like in, I think it's Borderlands 2. You can do a quest and you like get an item, and then you can decide who to turn it into, and it changes like whether you get this gun or this gun. I figure it's kind of like that, but obviously as it says, when their affinity is low towards you, they will turn on you and they will attack you. Well, they can attack. I think they showed off locking doors. I assume, you know, they can not give items. They're probably capable of giving items. Those are like the basic things I can think of. I'm sure there's probably more as we see more of the game. Sure, this is the key art. We don't know who this is. This is a new character, but these are the big three. Mom, dad, daughter, and these are just some of the enemies we've already encountered. Really happy to finally show this off. I've always personally been a huge fan of Drew Struzan's work. I don't know his work. Is this a link to more of his work? It is. Oh! This guy. I didn't realize this was his name. But, yeah, this guy's done tons of classic, iconic art and movie posters. Work in that era of movie posters, the style is great at presenting films that have a big cast like Star Wars, and Judas has a big cast. Outside of the lead roles, there's likely going to be more than 100 speaking parts. Jesus Christ. If you look closely, there's probably some details you might be curious about. Let's just say there's some stuff in this game that we're not going to talk about right now, but everything here is relevant. So, floppy disk, cassette player, you know, not everybody knows what those are anymore. There's a game. There's like an indie horror game from clearly like a younger, like a Zoomer or something, and he puts the VHS tape in like here's my phone, like imagine he puts it in like this instead of like this, like it would be, and it just makes you feel old. Anyway, there's one thing we all want to know: when is Judas coming out? While we wish we could give you an exact date, we're not quite ready to finalize that yet. I figure it's got to be at some point next year. We'll probably get a trailer at the Game Awards, and then they will give a rough, probably, estimate on when it comes out. We'll probably get like one or two or more of these the dev diaries, and then we'll get the trailer at the Game Awards, and we'll probably get a rough estimate on the time, and then later on next year we'll probably get a more exact date. We're not quite ready to finalize that yet. As you know, release dates have a way of slipping by, and we'd like to avoid having to change the date after we announce it, but we know Judas is not really a game until the players get their hands on it, and that's a date everyone on the team is working towards. Thank you for reading. Cool. Yeah, this is good. I don't know if Drew Struz is he even live? Drew Struz. I don't know if he's retired. Yeah, I guess he is alive. Also, students can't paint anymore due to advancing Alzheimer's. Oh, that's really sad. Okay. But this is cool. So yeah, we got the horse enemy, we got the this is specifically the chef enemy that we've seen in a couple of the early gameplay. There's like it's like a what are those dentist chairs? I guess they don't have an actual name. I think no, this is not the ship we're on, because this is too small. I have no idea what this could be then, but it looks kind of like in Star Wars. I think it's episode 2. Obi-Wan's ship has the things around it, and it lets him go into hyperspace. And then he like disconnects them when he doesn't want them around on him. That kind of reminds me of that. So we got a floppy disk saying Judas, a thumbs up hand, thumbs down. I assume that's related to these and their approval of you. This kind of reminds me of like a box of candy. This kind of looks like it's a Day of the Dead thing, but also kind of reminds me of like a mirror you can like open up, right? But cool. Yeah, we'll probably get two or so more of these. we'll probably hear about more at the Game Awards because they initially showed the reveal trailer. But yeah, obviously this idea sounds great on paper. We'll just have to wait and see how it really affects the gameplay and how it changes how you feel, right? Because I imagine a lot of people are going to have certain reactions. Like if they're getting heavily fucked over by one guy, they'll just go, all right, fuck him. And like try and stay out of his corner for that playthrough. But I'm curious to see how it ends up affecting different playthroughs and different, you know, playstyles. Which I guess is a big sort of thing. Is there like multiple endings? I assume there's got to be at least 3, depending on which of these guys you go for. So I don't know. I'm excited. I want to see some more gameplay though, just in general. Well, cool. Until the next dev vlog, I guess.